Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bad versus Evil, the rule of not two. I'm John Matrixx. I'm joined always by Road Rants on Star Wars. What's up, Rhodes?
I'm back. Rhodes rants on John Matrixx channel. Hope everybody's doing good tonight.
Yes, we hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday evening, ready to start the weekend. I am ready to get going, hit the ground running. We have some great Star Wars news. We see that we have 8 people watching. We have 7 thumbs up. Make sure you smash the like button on here and make sure you subscribe to Rhodes Rants on Star Wars. We don't have anybody in the chat yet, but we know we have people watching. So, Rhodes, what do you think of all of this news that's going on today?
Carry Hart
Yeah, Carrie
gone,
Hart, man.
gone with the win. Yeah,
Yeah, gone with the win. I got a lot of thoughts on, her actually being gone.
yeah. You know, I don't know. I, I think it's good news. I don't want to get the cart before the horse, as they say, old
Right.
school. I think there's obviously still work to be done, but uh, the head of a group that was failing now being gone, that is a good sign. And, um, I don't want anybody to get confused. I know I was reading around on Reddit and some other places, and everybody's saying, well, she's a consultant. The pro Last Jedi crowd is trying to spin this as a promotion for her.
It's definitely not a promotion because
No,
she's not
no,
even in a company anymore.
no,
This
no.
is
She's nowhere to be
definitely
found.
my thoughts is that Disney has been cleaning house from The Last Jedi. Solo lost them so much money, and then they actually see, guys like Ryan Johnson. I think Ryan Johnson is fired, but I don't know the reason why Disney doesn't actually come out and say somebody is fired. Because in my book, Ryan Johnson is fired. Kathleen
It's the
Kennedy is technically fired.
it's the whole corporate game, man. I mean, I worked in that ball game for so many years, and I can't imagine not only working in that environment, but trying to answer to the media on top of it, particularly a media that is going to drown you over the
Right.
termination of any kind of female employee.
Yep.
It's a game at this point. They got to make it. They got to make it look like they were in Carrie Hart's case, I guess she's taking another position with another company. Uh, but they're, how they, what do they call it? Forced retirement for older people sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like early forced retirement out of Lucasfilm. And I'm sure she got a severance, some kind of a package out of it. Most of the time they do. And, this happens in the corporate game. I've seen many a manager terminated, and the head of HR gets involved, and there's a discussion ahead of time about how is this going to look, how are we going to you know how's this going to play, are we in for any litigation issues potentially.
Right.
And that's just part of it, and it's why Kathleen Kennedy, quote unquote, still has a title. I don't think she's got any power.
No.
If you go back to the whole Grace Randolph report originally, um, Bob Iger offered that job to somebody else.
He
So,
offered it to J.J. Abrams, and he flat out
absolutely.
turned it down.
We've got Cinedave and Don Draper, old school Road Squadron in the house.
Thanks for joining, guys.
Absolutely.
Looks like we have 10 people joining us. Let us know your thoughts on Carrie Hart. Actually, just so people actually know who Carrie Hart is, because she's not a household name like Kathleen Kennedy. When George Lucas sold the company to Disney, we all know Kathleen Kennedy was made the president of Lucasfilm by George Lucas. However, Kathleen Kennedy also started a what she called a story group. Now they're called the Lucasfilm Story Group, and their job is basically to make certain things canon and things like that. So they are the ones that got rid of the EU and they want to start completely fresh. And pretty much anything that goes into the movies, they try to implement canon into the movies. So this is just my opinion here. I don't think JJ actually wanted the character of Ray in what he would have did with the Force Awakens. Ray was directly, I mean, it's kind of a takeoff from Kira, which George Lucas had, but Kathleen Kennedy, there's an interview with it. She said that she was trying to push females first and foremost up front in Star Wars, and her and Carrie Hart pretty much worked together to make the character of Rey and push all these female agendas into Star Wars. And really, with Carrie Hart leaving, that is a major step into the right direction because that story group dictates what is canon and what is not canon. What are your thoughts, Rhodes?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And they not only have an influence over the movies, they're the ones that are now doing we're seeing reflections of Carrie Hart on Star Wars Resistance, you know,
I haven't even watched Resistance.
which has completely been like, I mean, there's a segment of the Star Wars fans that like Resistance. And I've tried so hard. I mean, I try to digest Star Wars,
Right.
and I can't get through it. I get stuck about 2.5 episodes in. I mean, I've tried to finish the third episode like 5 times, and the characters are just so poorly written and so unlikable. I have never seen so many people that the story group comes up with that's just unlikable. You know?
Yeah, that green alien in episode, the first episode, that's the only one I saw, and I like watched part of it, and I started drifting off because that green alien was just so annoying. I couldn't take it. I mean that green alien was almost as annoying as L3.
Right. Right. Don Draper in the chat is no Bob Iger fan.
It's amazing though. I mean, he's in charge of everything Star Wars overall. He's in charge of everything Marvel. Marvel seems to be doing quite well, Captain Marvel controversy notwithstanding, but Marvel, everything they've done has been in the right direction. And yet he's going to fall on the sword for Kathleen Kennedy when we all know that Bob Iger is not at fault for the state of Star Wars.
Right.
You
Right.
know, Star Wars just decided to get woke under Kathleen Kennedy, and the MCU wasn't like that. And it definitely seems like they're doing that with Captain Marvel. I don't. We can talk about Captain Marvel and how it's going to be all SJW'd up, before the movie's even released. With Brie Larson and her comments on everything. So
Well, and Mar- Marvel's they kind of pulled something a little shady on us with Captain Marvel. If you look at the fact they released this movie and with the ending on Endgame, they almost force fed us Captain Marvel. Um, like in other words, Nick Fury sent out a message to Captain Marvel at the end of Infinity Wars,
yep, and nobody knew
and
it.
and it's like, okay, so now we have to go see this movie, to uh continue the Infinity War plot line going into Endgame. And I think that's going to backfire on them. I think there's going to be plenty of people that are going to like, you know what? I don't need Captain Marvel's backstory.
Yep.
Just get me to Endgame and I'm good.
Yeah, even the Russo brothers said they were very, very hesitant about putting uh Captain Marvel into Avengers Endgame because the problem is she's supposed to be like almighty, so powerful, I guess like Superman type of power that they didn't want to they didn't want to really put her in because if you look at the Avengers, all of the Avengers have some kind of a flaw. I mean, even
Right.
Captain America, is
Right.
his
Right.
compassion, is his weakness,
Right.
you know. Uh
He's
the
got
whole
he's got a certain amount of not, he's naive also in a certain way.
Right.
He's naive, and I grew up in the 30s and 40s instead of the 2000s, and things have sped up a good bit since
Right.
then,
Right.
which I actually find to be that's a that's a really likable quality they've got with Captain America. It makes him likable.
Yeah, I love Captain America.
Yeah, I do
But
too.
let me ask you this though. Now that we're actually kind of talking about Star Wars in the MCU, when you look at what Star Wars has done with Rey, she's Miss Perfect. She's a Mary Sue, perfect at everything. Are you worried that Captain Marvel is going down that same route?
I think
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah.
I think the difference is
She's actually getting
it
training. You
it
can actually see that in the trailer.
well, um did you watch the Super Bowl commercial for Captain Marvel? I'm sure you saw it. You might
Yeah,
have
I'm
just
pretty
kind of
sure that I did, but I don't remember it. I didn't do a reaction to it or anything.
she made a comment about being better than boys or men or something in the trailer.
Oh god. Oh yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, "What?"
No, no, that was actually the girl that was next to her. She was like, let's show these boys how it's done or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
But I
wasn't that
mean,
wasn't actually her, but
we got the point though. They
right,
they were throwing a jab at us.
right.
Lord Callus in the house.
What's up, Lord Callus? That's a great channel, man. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Lord Callus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. What political affiliation is Bob Iger? He's a Republican, isn't he?
I really don't know. I
I
mean,
thought he was a Republican.
and if he's a Republican, he better keep his mouth closed in Hollywood, man. The way the way they've been blackballing people,
Well,
but
I thought because I know he's got presidential aspirations. He has for quite some time, and I was pretty sure he was a Republican.
huh,
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I really don't know. I mean, the only Republicans I can really think of in Hollywood are Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Woods, and but Arnold's he's kind of slick. He's kind of a slick Republican, you know,
Yeah,
like like he watches what he says
yeah,
just
he
so he doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, you
he
know.
knows how to play the game.
Yes,
Yeah, he
yes,
absolutely
but
does.
Arnold at his heart is a straight up Republican.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he watches. He tries to play the smooth, you know, like he's a liberal, but Arnold's not a liberal,
No, not at all.
not at all.
Don Draper is killing some Bob Iger in the chat.
What is he
I
saying there?
believe Iger is the poisoned organ tainting the fluid that runs through him. He wanted Carl Manvers, Marvel's Captain Marvel land.
You know,
Don Draper's the best, man. He has been a Road Squadron supporter for a very, very long time. And he brings the heat in the comments always.
you know what? I had never heard of Captain Marvel. You know, the first time I've actually heard the name Captain Marvel. Uh, do you like jazz?
A little bit. Yeah, I do
You
actually.
know who Chick Corea is?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chick
Yeah.
Corea is amazing. He actually has a song called Captain Marvel, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
that's where he actually got it from. And
Do you know how I know what Captain Marvel is?
how?
Because you know who Shazam is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I knew him in the 70s as Captain Marvel.
Huh.
And then over time, what he said was Shazam to turn from Billy Batson into Shazam, essentially, or Captain Marvel. But as that Marvel character was created and developed, they got away from that because of the confusion of it. And now I assume they obviously didn't want two Captain Marvel movies coming out, one from DC, one from Marvel. So
Huh.
they just, by the way, interesting tidbit on the side for Shazam. Superman is cameoing in that movie.
Is it Henry Cavill? That's the question.
Grace Randolph said that not Black Adam and Superman are both cameoing, and that is from people that have screened the movie. But you cannot, you do never see Cavill or Dwayne Johnson.
Now, the rumor was that Henry Cavill was going to make a cameo in it before the whole, he's not Superman anymore thing. I don't know if he's Superman or not anymore. I don't think he's officially out yet, but it if they're going to get Superman to make a cameo in Shazam, it better be Henry Cavill. It better not be, like the guy from the TV show or
No, it's
Tom Welling or
I don't
somebody.
think you can, the way she was explaining it, you can't see uh
You can't make
their
him out.
faces. Their
Uh,
faces.
okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So I don't know how that works out because she said you can't see Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam either.
mm,
So, but they're blatantly in it.
uh,
So that
so
I mean, I thought that was okay.
they probably doing a bunch of long shots or like you
Right.
just see Superman from the neck down or something like
Right.
that. That's what I'm assuming.
Right.
I'd rather just
Oh,
them not put him in if they're not going to get Henry Cavill to do it.
hey, and after we're done with Star Wars, we got to talk about this Batman rumor because my face is about to melt off over that.
Okay, I haven't heard the Batman rumor, so you'll have to kind of lead the way on that.
You
I
know
think I
who's rumored to take that?
no, I don't.
Robert Pattinson from Twilight.
I saw that. Oh my god, are you serious?
I mean, I thought,
Are you freaking kidding me?
listen, I was not the biggest fan of Affleck being cast to begin with, but he actually turned out to be a pretty competent
I
Batman.
liked him, but there is no way that that Patterson can play Batman. First of all,
I
he's way too skinny. He's not a great actor. I mean,
oh
my
man,
god, oh man.
is there something wrong with a man looking like a dude, like a real, like hey, I'm just gonna come in and just whip everybody's ass, dude, straight up, dude.
Gage says,
Why? What is wrong? What I mean, what is going on here?
"Hey,
For real,
Gage says Robert Patterson better get on the roids."
man. Better get some HGH all over the place. Better call up Barry Bonds and find out what kind of Cheerios he was
No,
taking. Because
call up Stallone. He's on the HGH.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just I saw that the other day, and I mean that's
That's
heavily rumored.
that's
Matt
bad.
Reeves is like that's one of his dudes.
I mean, he doesn't look or feel like Batman whatsoever.
You know what's odd though? I was thinking the other day, I was like, um, who do you get to play Batman now though? You know, who falls in that 28 to say 38-year-old range? Because they're saying I wanted John Hamm to play Batman just
Uh,
because he would be a perfect Bruce Wayne.
maybe
Um,
Christian Bale still looks young. I
well,
loved his Batman, but I know you're not going to
well,
get him.
I've said many times that he said I'm not going to come back and play Batman. But do you know how many actors say I'm not coming back to play a certain character, and then the studio backs up the Brinks truck and they sign the contract?
Yeah,
That happens all the time.
I'm trying to.
I mean, Christian Bale would be the guy you'd want if you can get him back. My God, get that dude back.
Yeah, but it's definitely probably not going to happen. So I'm trying to think who could actually be a respectable Batman. What 20 to 25-year-old actor is out there? You know, that's not going to be all Twilight up. So don't say Zac Efron or somebody like that. Uh,
I had a hard time. I couldn't. You want to know the truth? I couldn't think of anybody. Like
yeah,
all the actors I like, I guess now are honestly 40 years old.
I think that's the hard part about Batman and Superman. When it comes to Aquaman, we don't really think and care. Like, all right, who's going to be Aquaman? Nobody really cares. So like Spider
Right,
Man,
right.
nobody. The Superman and Batman,
You
it's
got the
something.
nail
It's
in.
special, man. It's special. That is
Yeah,
the two
yeah.
biggest superhero characters of all time. So you got to be able to bring it with those. I mean,
What
Superman,
what
you really
about
have to have the look
what about Bradley Cooper?
as Batman.
Yeah.
I think he can pull off a Batman. I think he could, but they're talking about having a younger Batman. Bradley Cooper's what, like
God, I
40,
guess he's almost
43?
50, isn't he?
Oh
Yeah.
no, Bradley Cooper's like 43.
See, that just doesn't seem old to me, but I'm 43, so I
I know
guess.
we're both over 40, but if you look at the way you looked in your 20s, you don't look the same.
Right, right.
You know,
Actually, the best I ever looked was when I was about 34, actually. But um what about how old is Ryan? What about Ryan Gosling, even though I
I
don't consider
knew
him
you
to
would.
be
That's who I was thinking of. I know he's in his 30s, but he doesn't look very old. But last time I saw him in First Man, I was very, very disappointed.
but
So
I heard he was really good in Blade Runner 2049.
I didn't see Blade Runner. I didn't see Blade Runner at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it either. But he got supposedly got good reviews. I heard First
yeah.
Man wasn't very good from
I
a
didn't
lot of
like
folks.
First Man. The critics liked it, but man, it was so dry, and he was so miserable the whole time that
Dave says just bring in an unknown to play Superman. Rondo says new guy like they chose Chris Reeves. You know,
that's what I'm thinking it would be. I don't think it's
in
going to be somebody that that's
I
established.
my issue with that is you've got a guy, you know?
Exactly.
I mean
They have
that
the
guy is
perfect Superman.
perfect.
Henry
Yeah,
Cavill is so good. I remember Henry Cavill going all the way back to the Count of Monte Cristo in 2001 or 2002.
yeah, yeah,
He was so young. He was so
yeah,
good. Is
yeah,
Albert Mondego. I really, really enjoyed that movie. And that
yeah.
was the first time I saw him. And then all of a sudden he just pops up in Immortals. And I like Immortals. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you see Immortals?
No, I didn't.
I know the reviews weren't really good, but it had Luke Evans in it. It had the other guy from Twilight, the buffed up guy. I can't remember his name. But he was in it, and Rosario Dawson was in it too.
Oh yeah, I'll watch anything with her in it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've seen Clerks too 100,000
I
times.
haven't. I've never seen Clerks.
Oh, dude.
That's like one of the few cult classic movies I haven't seen.
that 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 is one reason you will never see me make a video where I'm hating on Kevin Smith. Because he made too many movies I liked in the 90s. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, what's your favorite cult classic movie? To
Well,
me,
there's a lot of movies now that are considered like hits that really and truly are kind of like cult classics.
but cult classics have to be around for a while. They have to gain a lot of steam.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's Office Space. Office Space is a perfect cult classic movie.
Yeah, you know what?
Love that movie.
That's probably my number one cult classic too. Yeah.
What do you guys
Because
in the chat have to say? What's your favorite cult classic movie?
I managed in a call center.
You did.
I was an operations manager for a call center. Yeah, that's
Man,
what I did for 12 years.
I hate call centers.
And it is eerily similar to Office Space. I worked in two different environments and they were both basically like that. Yep. Lundberg. Lundberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
I'm going to
Peter.
need you to come in on Saturday.
How's it
Yeah.
going? I'm gonna need you to come in on Saturday. If you can do that, that would be great.
UHF, Rondo says, the one with Weird Al. You remember UHF?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that got a lot of like cult following. I know.
Yeah. See, Lord Callis loves Office Space.
Uh,
That's all we got so far on that.
trying to think of some like, I mean, there's all kinds of like horror movies that ended up being cult
Oh
classics.
yeah, pretty much every Friday the 13th movie. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I was happy to hear you're a Jason fan. That makes me.
Oh man, I love Jason.
Yeah, yeah. You know the remake they did, the 2009 one.
Yeah, I saw that. That wasn't that
Yeah,
bad. It was actually good.
yeah. I really liked it. I was right deep in the middle of running my horror website when that came out, and I got to talk to Derek Mears, who played Jason. for my website, and that dude's super cool. Uh, he
Sunday.
was a monster as Jason in that movie. I mean, a monster.
Yeah, well, people don't remember though that Jason doesn't show up until the second movie, and he doesn't
Oh
get
yeah,
the
yeah,
hockey
yeah,
mask to the third movie. People
yeah.
forget about
They
that.
when they went to remake that, what they did was they tried to blend the first four movies together and give elements of that. That's why he started out with the bag in that movie
Yeah,
and then transitioned to the hockey mask about a third of the way in or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, and
And
there's
they originally the character that Jared Padalecki or whatever his name is, the guy from Supernatural,
yeah.
um, he was originally going to play Tommy Jarvis again.
Oh,
The Tommy Jarvis character was coming back, which is something that Friday fans have been wanting forever. And they ultimately decided not to do it. Don Draper, I want to see a standalone movie of her cat. I guess he's talking about Captain
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah. And people forget that Kevin Bacon was in the first Friday the 13th, and that's really only two Friday the 13th movies that I hated, and it was the New Beginning. I think where Jason was going. Was that the one where Jason was going from? No, no, it was the
That's
one where he was jumping from body to body. I can't remember.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Was that it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, I hated
yeah,
that one.
yeah. I didn't love that one either.
And Jason X.
And
And
the space, Jason in space, Jason
yeah,
X.
and actually that wasn't too bad until he actually got the like the ultimate Jason or whatever he was called.
Yeah,
And it was just god awful. I can't believe I actually
yeah,
spent money in the movie theater to go watch that.
yeah. I went and
It was
saw it,
so
dude.
bad.
Yeah, I saw it opening day. Yeah, I'm a big Friday the 13th fan. I mean, huge. In fact, I've got a life size, like 6 foot tall stand up of Jason.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's in my storage building right now. But yeah, it's Jason from Jason Goes to Hell.
That's interesting.
Let's see, a supreme female being who has trouble remembering her past that has a furry tag along named Chewie. With her, she flies across the galaxy as she saves it and appropriates everything. Don Draper is fired up.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. At Dave Carlman versus essentially Star Wars for the MCU. Maybe they ought to make a movie and call it Ray versus Captain Marvel,
Oh god.
and then fight to death. Hey, let me ask you a question. I experienced something kind of weird. It made me think about something this week. Number one of the cleaning contracts we've got is a church that we service, a large one. And I showed up this week, and when they came to answer the door for us to come in and service, the youth director had a giant stuffed porg in her arms. Yes, a porg. Okay, and she's a 32 or 33-year-old lady, and she loves Star Wars, and she loved the Last Jedi. Um,
My coworker
and
loves The Last Jedi too.
and of course, I didn't go into anything. I mean, I don't tell people I've got this channel for the most part, and so then it made me think about something else. I got two homeboys that are both essentially my age. I think one of them's 41 and the other one's 40, maybe 40 or 41. Maybe they're both 41. And they also love The Last Jedi. And, I've tried to talk to them about it, about things. I'm like, hey, are you aware? Like, they're not involved with anything on YouTube, like at all. And when I told them there was this big backlash, they was like, I don't even know what you're talking about, or why. And they grew up on Star Wars just like I did. Do you know anybody like that? That is like the backlash is just completely like they don't even know it's happening right now.
Now I know my coworker, he's a bit Star Wars fan too, but I don't know if he's really knows about the backlash. He said that he liked The Last Jedi And I went to his office, man. We were talking. I was like, man, how can you like anything about that movie, man? The jokes are flat. They destroyed Luke, and I don't know. I don't know why he likes it. I don't. I think I know he likes it, but I don't think he's really like die hard into the news because I'll go and tell him stuff, and he never heard of it. So I don't think he keeps up really with the news. So I think
Right.
he's a fan, but he's not like a diehard fan like us.
Yeah, they don't they they actually do still buy some collectibles and things like that, but they don't. And in fairness to them, they're pretty busy, but they don't like sit around and digest what's coming next, really. You
Right.
know. But yeah, they know episode 9 when it's coming out and all that, but they're not keeping up with any of like the story or whatever. They'll literally watch the trailer, get fired up for it, and then go see the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's
But I
let's
thought that was a strange dynamic because I was like, I told them I hated the movie and it shocked them, and I said, well, what about Luke being, blah blah blah, and they were like, oh, you mean went into hiding like Obi-Wan? And I was like,
No, that's not the
it's
same.
not the same
Not the
thing.
same whatsoever. He quit.
And both of them literally said that. I was like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Obi-Wan went into hiding to look after Luke because he knew that Luke was going to be the new hope. Luke himself just said, "The hell with it. I just quit. Y'all can all just die. I just came here to die." Completely different. Because remember, Obi-Wan, when Luke finally found out who his father was and everything, Obi-Wan said, "You must learn the ways of the Force if you're to come with me to Alderaan." And Luke was the one, "I'm not going to Alderaan.
Right,
He say
right,
here, I got work to do." Then he said, "You must do what was right, of course." And he ends up going. Luke, he gets his lightsaber back, and he's first thing he says is, "Go away. Get off my lawn." You know?
right, right,
It's not even remotely close to
right.
the same thing.
I know it. That's what I tried to explain to them, but they were almost like oblivious to it. I don't know.
Yeah. If Luke was actually doing his job, Han Solo would probably be alive.
Right. Either that or Han would have bailed him out again.
Yep.
And they'd both be alive.
Yep. That's two you owe me, Junior.
Ron Navy's in the house.
Yeah, Ron Navy and Rondo, I see. Welcome, welcome. So just to kind of recap, if you guys are just now joining us, we were talking about Carrie Hart being technically fired from Lucasfilm. We got in a little bit of a Marvel talk and everything, Star Wars. There is some more Star Wars news here, also concerning the Knights of Ren.
Oh
They have
yeah.
all but been confirmed for the movie, and
Yeah,
we're
they're
starting.
in it.
They're
They're in
they're
it.
definitely in it. They're
Yeah.
definitely in it.
JJ they were supposed to be a large part of his original storyline, and Ryan Johnson dumped them.
Yeah, he said he couldn't find any place to put him in.
And we've now found out they may be a very integral part of the next movie. Ryan Johnson couldn't find a place for him. I can uh milk some tits, but I can't get the Knights of Ren anywhere in the movie.
Yeah, that absolutely makes no sense. You have time for a titty milking scene. You can easily find at least one scene. First of all, the titty milking scene should have been cut out, and Luke mourning Han should have been kept in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you could have put, one scene with the Knights of Ren. Maybe Kylo Ren after he kills off Supreme Leader Snoke. You know, says that calls up his boys, say, "Hey boys, I'm the new Supreme Leader now. The show's on. Come on in. We got work to do, and go from there."
Right.
Leading into episode 9. That probably would have worked out better. But nothing could have saved The Last Jedi. Nothing.
We've got the dog show is in the house.
Hey, what's going on, dog?
Wished upon a vlog is in the house.
And Mary Vidalis is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we have 16 people watching right now. Please
And
smash that
while
like
while
button.
we're in here, just in case, Dog's got a great channel. Ron Navy's got a great channel. Wished Upon a Vlog's got a great channel. Mary Vanel's got a great channel. Lord Cal's got a great channel. Who else is in here? And I'm trying to see if any other creators are in here.
I know you got some Road Squadron in here too.
Make sure you are subscribed to everybody in the chat. Help everybody else out, please.
Yes. And make sure you subscribe to see future Star Wars content. You guys probably didn't catch that. Did you?
Yeah. And make sure you sub to, John Matrixx and Rhodes Rants.
I thank you all so much for the kind support. I'll catch you guys next time.
Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
I like Mike Zero, man.
Oh yeah. Mike.
I really haven't been watching him a whole lot lately though.
Can I tell you, I almost don't watch him anymore. And I mean, occasionally I do. Like, if he posts something and it blatantly has a picture of like Harrison Ford as Han Solo, I'll click on it. Or if it says something like trailer news, and I'm like, well, I do this like personal in-house in-head debate with myself, and I'm like, yeah, why would he have it and I'm not able to find it? I'm like, maybe just in case somebody emailed him, blah. And then I'll go ahead and click on. I'm like, man, you didn't say nothing.
I'll tell you this, Mike Zero, he has really great thumbnails. His thumbnails will make you want to. It'll make you want to click on it, and he'll come out.
It is on point.
Yep, and I've used some of his like title tactics and stuff like that. Actually, on my next video,
Yeah,
I got like a Mike Zero type of title to the video, and when I do that, man, I get a lot of views.
There's nothing wrong with it, man.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when I couldn't get 200 views, I would get like 100 views. Now I'm easily getting 100 views, and I think those can end up turning into like 200 views. But my next video, the thumbnail even kind of looks like a Mike Zero thumbnail, and the title of it, it looks like a Mike Zero title. And somebody actually told me on the video,
is it called Ahsoka Episode 9? Is she Rey's mother?
Oh man, Mike Zero has been coming out with Ahsoka's in Episode 9. Ezra Bridger is in Episode 9, and those things I'll click on.
I did some of those like 4 or 5 months ago. I did. I swore Grand Admiral Thrawn was going to be in Episode 9. When Richard E. Grant got cast, I said, that dude, it took me 20 seconds, and I was like, oh my God, it's Thrawn.
He's not Thrawn. At least that's what
I
they
wish
say.
he was. God. That'd be so good.
I mean,
that'd be so good.
If he was Thrawn, of course you can get the guy from Rebels to actually voice him.
Oh,
that would be really cool. That's Matt Mikkelsen's brother that does the voice.
Oh, really? Hannibal.
Yeah.
I tried to watch that. For full clarification, I tried to watch that movie Polar on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
I could not get through it. It was awful.
I tried, man. I watched IO because the trailer looked cool. IO was kind of dry.
It was. Okay.
It was definitely not Bird Box. And I like Bird Box.
We still have not watched that.
Really?
No, we got to watch it. We're going to try to watch it this weekend since the weather's like bad.
Yeah, it's so cold outside. You might as well just stay outside. Stay inside and cuddle up and watch the movies. Man, we watched actually last night. We watched Empire Strikes Back. I was like, man, because
you can watch it if it's on and I see it's on. I put it on there and just let it ride. I mean, I'm gonna watch it every single time, and which is crazy because TNT and TBS are playing Star Wars like every third weekend now.
See, but I gotta watch it on my Blu-ray. I gotta watch it on my 4K TV so I can get the best possible, quality. So I almost never watch them on like TNT. When
I
I
gotta
watch when
get.
I watch a Star Wars movie, I gotta watch it on my flat screen.
I've I've got to get a 4K. I've got to. I've got. I mean,
Oh,
I've got 1080p and all that, but
and that's
I,
still good too. I mean, you can
you
still
know,
really good quality because actually you're not gonna truly get a 4K picture on a Blu-ray unless you actually have like a 4K Blu-ray and a 4K TV. So you really got to have both. And I actually have a 4K Blu-ray player, but I don't ever use it actually because I stopped buying Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm
buying all
completely,
digital now.
I'm all digital, man. Like if a movie comes out, I just go on Amazon, buy it, or if I want to see it, I just rent it,
Yeah,
and then if I like it, then I'll just keep it. I haven't bought a Blu-ray in years, actually. And then it had a lot of like if you're a huge Star Wars fan, let's just say that you love the prequels, you know?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, not the prequels, I mean the sequel trilogy. Just
Yeah,
go on Netflix. They're all there.
right. Well, Force Awakens is not on Netflix.
Oh, Last Jedi is and Rogue
Yeah.
One. I think Solo
Solo
is
there
too.
and Rogue One's on there.
Why is The Force Awakens not on there?
I don't know. I don't know. I've got it on digital. I know it's the Force Awakens and Rogue One are already on TNT now or TBS Turner
Huh.
because that's the reason that the Star Wars movies were on this last weekend is they did the network television premiere of Rogue One.
Hmm.
So they like um they marathoned them all day long. Which is great. If there's nothing on, I mean, I'll put them on there and just let them ride.
You know what we should do one day? We
A
should do
live
yeah,
stream,
a
live
live
stream.
stream
Yeah,
commentary.
yeah. I thought about that. I thought
Yeah.
about that earlier today,
Yeah,
actually.
we should do that. Of course, we have to mute the video, make sure that
Right.
the sound doesn't get through so we don't get copyrighted. But
I actually thought we ought to get together and live stream the Last Jedi.
well, that too.
Do audio commentary on the Last Jedi. Get the dog show on here because I
Yes.
know how much he loves the Last Jedi too. And
Yes.
then we can get some real. We can have some like monstrous Ryan Johnson milk tit love going on in here.
Oh my
It
god.
it'll be classic. I mean, just classic. We can watch, all the greatest hits like the purple haired warrior flying through space and hitting the breaking the laws of physics and everything and tracking through light speed and Verizon jokes and
Oh god.
I mean it'll be great. It'll be, Captain Phasma gets, shits the bed after, 3 minutes of screen time.
Oh god.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be awesome.
And
Be awesome.
what a wasted character, man. Phasma. I mean, had
I
a
knew that.
had a
And dog's probably over there. Sob.
man. What a crappy waste of a character. Looked cool, wasn't cool at all. I mean, I thought Phasma was bad in The Force Awakens, and she was next to non-existent in The Last Jedi. Oh man, it's just
The sad part about that is how good of an actress
Gwendolyn
Gwendolyn
Christie.
Christie is, and
Man,
they just pissed her away.
I love her in Game of Thrones. Man, she is great in Game of Thrones, and they just wasted her.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I
I
know.
mean, was it that she was filming this past season of Game of Thrones and she has some scheduling problems or something? Because for what she did in The Last Jedi, she probably just showed up to set for 30 minutes.
They waved her in, like calling in the left-handed reliever. Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson tapped on his left arm. And she come trotting in with a glove in her hand, spitting tobacco.
Yeah. I mean, is she dead? Is she actually truly dead, you think?
Kathleen Kennedy would be like, "This is exactly what I wanted. She's just manly enough for me." We're gonna break down barriers. God. Fucking dude. Oh man.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm serious. She probably was filming the last season of Game of Thrones. And she probably just said I only got like a few days, so they just wrote her out or something, and brought her in for a few days to film that dumb scene with her and Finn fighting, and just killed her off. Ryan Johnson. Let's see, he killed off Luke. He killed off Phasma. Who else did? Oh, he killed off Atbar. Uh, what other bit name characters did he kill off?
and he should have killed off Finn, which would have been epic, and he didn't kill him off.
Oh yeah, he gave us Rose Tico to save the day, and he killed off Snoke. So that's like 4 significant characters that he just killed off.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
he killed off Snoke way too fast.
He killed off Star Wars.
Yes. I,
The dog said he killed my soul. Yeah, the dog show said he'd be down to do the commentary on the
yeah,
film. So
we
we're
should
gonna have to
definitely
figure out how to set that up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, just. I mean, I can watch it on my tablet
I
here.
can set yeah, I could
Yeah, we
I
can
could
just do
set
like a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Actually, Last Jedi is on Netflix,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I can just put it on Netflix, watch it on my tablet, and then we can do a commentary. The thing is, man, that movie's long and it's horrible, so I'll have to sit through that and just oh god.
John, do you drink?
Uh, I guess I could need a beer
I
doing
was
it.
gonna say, I mean, it might be a good time as any to kill a 6-pack.
Man, I got like 6 bottles of wine here
Well,
that I
that
just
that would
uh,
qualify.
yeah, but I'm trying to watch what I eat and everything, so I haven't really been drinking. So, but man, I may
I
need
know.
that. I may need a bottle of tequila to make it through the Last Jedi.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now, I'm gonna have to do that from the living room because there's no way I'm gonna be able to go without Marlboros watching that thing. They'll
Yeah,
find me in the fetal position, shaking, screaming, screaming out, Ryan.
yeah, man, I may need a line of coke to make it through.
Oh God.
No, don't do drugs, people. I don't do
Yeah,
drugs.
we don't condone the usage of any kind of recreational blah 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 blah.
Even though I'm pretty sure Ryan Johnson was on coke when he was actually writing and making the movie.
Man, do not give cocaine a bad name like that. can we not do that to Coke?
Oh man.
You might have straightened him out a little bit.
Well,
Oh, the last
he's making another movie now. He's probably gonna butcher
Knives
Daniel
Out.
Craig. Yeah.
Yep.
Wonder
Yeah.
who's gonna be doing cameos in this movie in Star Wars Episode 9. Have you heard about anybody?
Yeah, I have, but I can't remember who they are now.
Yeah.
I think one of them's like a singer.
Oh,
Uh, what's his name? Ed Sheeran, I think is the
yeah.
guy's name, something like that.
Oh man, did you actually see the deleted scene with Prince Harry and Prince William?
No, I did not.
Oh my god, it's in the Last Jedi. That scene is horrendous. I mean, it is just horrible. I forgot the other guy. It's some other cameo of an actor playing a stormtrooper, and he recognizes Finn, and he sounds like he's this old Western or Texas guy, got this strong Texas accent. He's like playing around with Finn, and this is like when Finn is captured. I'm like, why in the world did they
Would you
even
even
shoot
film that?
this? Yes,
No.
I mean it is bad. I mean, just absolute garbage. Why did they shoot that scene? Why did they waste money on that scene? And Prince Harry and Prince William, they're stormtroopers, so you can't see them. But I think if you actually have the Last Jedi's special features, it's in there. I mean, it is the worst deleted scene I've ever seen in my life. That stormtrooper, it doesn't even feel like he's a stormtrooper. Doesn't sound like one. I mean, it's just that horrendous. And
Ugh.
Stormtroopers like FN 2187. Hey, you remember me? We were in the blah 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 together or whatever. And I was like, man, it's so bad. Yeah, Lord Callis knows. He said, yeah, that scene was bad. Thank goodness it hit the cutting room floor. That's what he said.
But once again, brought to you by the director that cut the Luke Morning Han scene.
Yeah. And that was actually a good scene.
It was the best scene. It was the best scene of The Last Jedi, and it did not make it in the movie.
Yep.
The best scene. Yeah.
I mean, one of the very few. I mean, there was some. I'll say this about The Last Jedi. There were some good visuals. I mean, Snoke's throne room looked really cool. I'll give him credit on that. I don't know how much of a credit you can actually give a director on that, but Snoke's throne room looked pretty cool.
Okay, well, let me tell you, I on my 31 failures of The Last Jedi, I actually dogged Ryan out for that throne room.
Oh, you didn't like the way the throne room?
I hated it. I thought it looked like they shot it in a warehouse in an Amazon warehouse, and then put some like hung up some red stuff. I was like, "What is this? A 70s porn shoot?" I hated that throne room. And then they had that one weird looking, almost like mirror thing set up back there, and these guys were like looking through it. And I understand that all of that stuff is actually explained in some book somewhere. I get that. I just don't want to have to go read a book to get explanation on that.
Yes.
And I didn't think it looked great,
Yeah.
I really didn't.
And please tell me that one of your 31 flaws of The Last Jedi is that you really have to read all this other stuff to actually fill in the gaps of these two movies.
I don't think I actually numbered that, but more than likely I actually said something to the effect of I shouldn't have to read a book to get or a comic to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Like the whole force
the
whole force downloading thing. That's something, if you actually meant to put that in the movie, that's something that should be in the movie. You shouldn't find it out in the book.
Oh, Rondo said it. It reminded me of Ming's Palace in the Flash Gordon. Have you seen Flash Gordon, the old movie?
Oh man, that's like so long ago. That's some like
wow,
George Lucas.
He's right. It sure does. Oh.
Well, George Lucas was influenced a lot by Flash Gordon, so maybe Rian Johnson decided to do something supposedly to honor George Lucas, but he didn't honor George Lucas in one bit. So
I think I literally just smacked my head against the microphone. Oh man, the movie's terrible.
Yeah.
I when we started this show, we said that it's very likely The Last Jedi will get a lot of play.
And it pretty much has.
Yep, it has.
It's gotten a lot of play.
Let's see. I thought that too. Death to Ming. I have not seen that movie in a long time. Actually, I don't think I liked that movie too much as a kid. I hear they're finally making a new one. So maybe that'll be interesting. New Flash Gordon. I know that Flash Gordon movie, a lot of people liked it, so I'm probably going to get killed for that. But
well, I haven't seen it, so I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up watching Flash Gordon. I mean, I know about it, but it's not something I actually really kind of grew up on and watching.
Yeah, Rondo said I loved it. The fight scene at the end reminded me on the Highlander final fight. In The Last Jedi, the fight scene of Luke and. Let me ask you this: what did you like about The Last Jedi?
Okay. I did say I liked the way the throne room scene looked. Actually, let's talk about that. Let's get into that. What we actually like, no matter if it really takes time, because in any bad movie, any terrible movie, you can find a few good things.
The dog said nothing.
That's what I'm tempted to say, because I'm talking right now because I really can't think of anything that I actually did like. But now,
Well, the camera was in focus.
for one thing, there's nothing I liked about Canto Bite. Absolutely nothing. Um, I did like it when Luke finally showed up. I was thinking, all right, he's back. He's in it. And I actually liked the conversation Luke had with Leia. You know, like she says, I know my son is gone. He says, no one's ever really gone. Now, I don't know why they actually make a big deal about the dice, because I know the dice and the Millennium Falcon. Watch the original trilogy. Nobody cared about the dice. Now
I
you
mean,
see the dice. You see
they're
the dice.
there, but nobody cared.
Yeah, they're making a big deal of it because you see the dice in Solo. Then they have to put the dice in the Last Jedi, and I'm like, honestly, when I watched the Last Jedi, I saw the dice. I was like, okay, what is that? you know, because it was never a big deal in the original trilogy. So, what else did I like? Man,
Uh-huh.
I guess technically I did like the throne room fight visually, but it made no sense that Ray had to end up saving Kylo in the end. She was like, Ben, she throws him the lightsaber because he's in trouble after
Oh
she
yeah.
wiped out all her people and he has to be the one to actually struggle. That
She's
that bothered me right there. That bothered
she's
me.
sitting around eating pizza and looks up and he's I'll throw him a lightsaber. I'm I'm over here I'm over here painting my nails. I didn't realize you were still fighting. I've been done so long.
Yeah. Um what do you like? Because maybe that'll refresh my memory on
Okay.
something that I like.
One of the
hold
things I
on, hold
know.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Okay.
Rondo, do not say purple hair. Do not say purple hair. I see you in the chat. Anyway, go ahead.
Um, I like the porgs.
Yeah, I didn't like the point.
I did. The
Yeah,
porgs bothered a lot of people. I didn't. They didn't bother me a bit. I said, well, the damn things are kind of cute.
and it
Um,
kind of reminded you of Star Wars a little bit, like Return
yeah,
of the Jedi in
yeah,
a
and I
way.
mean, a lot of people got bent out of shape. Chewie and the porgs. I actually laughed.
I,
Um,
I like the caretakers.
the turtles. They were turtles,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. And of course, my favorite part of the entire movie was the part of the movie where Chewie and the Porgs were fighting the TIE fighters on Crate.
Okay.
When the Falcon came out of nowhere and you saw the shadow of it go over, which is actually kind of a cool shot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Finn says, "Oh, they hate that ship" or something. And then there's a shot where there's literally like 14 TIE fighters chasing the
Mhm.
Falcon. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And
Now,
and when he took him through, Chewie flew him through some kind of like salt thing in the ground or something and all that. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of different scenes from the past. I enjoyed that. But we're talking, that is literally it. That is
remember,
pretty much my enjoyment of the movie.
and guys, we're talking about like little small moments. Like I did like Luke and R2 when he's like, "Hey, watch the language," because that was kind of like the Luke we
That's a good
remember.
moment. That's a good
That's a good
moment.
moment
Yeah.
right there. But
Yep.
that was pretty much the last time we saw R2, I think. I don't remember
Yep.
R2 at all much after that. Uh that was it.
Oh
Actually
man.
did. I actually There was actually one joke that I did like when when Luke says, where are you from? Ray from nowhere. I'm from nowhere. He's like, oh, nobody's from nowhere. I'm from Jakku. He's like, well, all right, you pretty much are from nowhere. I thought that joke kind of fit. I like that one right there. All the rest of the jokes I thought were garbage.
That was sort of a Star Wars joke, right?
Yes.
A
Yes.
real Star Wars joke.
Yeah.
The oh
I like
god.
dropping the Sidious line in there, even though I didn't agree with what Luke really had to say. About the Jedi's failures. I mean, technically, what he was saying was true,
Right.
but his perspective was quite different because if he was in their position too, he wasn't going to know that Palpatine was Darth Sidious.
Yeah. Yeah. God, there was just so much. A lot of people love that Praetorian Guard fight scene, and I hate that. I hate it.
I mean, I like it up to the point that
It
Rey
if
had to save Kylo.
if you really watch it though, it is one of the clumsiest fight scenes I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the guys just kind of standing around. It
It's
wasn't.
I'm like, God, it just crawls all over me.
But for me, man, what I don't like it is Rey. There's no way Rey should have been that good with the lightsaber. She shouldn't have got that good. But we found out about the Force download scene outside of the movie, and then that's basically how she got better.
Well, now she trained and waved that around a perfectly good rock.
Train what?
She had the lightsaber in her hand and she waved it around and she cut a rock in two. That should be plenty of lightsaber training for any good Jedi.
Oh God.
God, I hate that movie.
What else? I know there's got to be one more thing we can
So
think
I got Porgs. I've got the Falcon, Chewie, and Porgs in that scene flying around. And even that scene's got a flaw because Rey shoots every TIE fighter like she's been working the turret in the Falcon for the last 42 years.
of. Yeah.
So even that scene's got a flaw, but I enjoyed that scene. So,
You know what's really
man,
you know what's really sad? I did not like one scene with Leia, except for, Luke talking to Leia. All the other stuff when she was with the resistance, I hated all those scenes, mainly because she was like around Holdo. And when she got blown out in space, that was like the space Leia scene is like the worst scene in Star Wars history.
I feel like Carrie Fisher was above all of those
Yeah.
scenes. I
Yeah.
mean, her scene with Mark Hamill was good. Um, but once you find out he wasn't really there, it just sort of, it just dilutes what
Oh,
was a good
I
scene.
never liked that fight scene. That whole Matrixx thing, and like he wasn't even trying to use his lightsaber,
Right.
just because he really wasn't
I hate
there.
it. I mean, it's the ending to what is it? Escape from L.A.
Yeah.
You have seen that, right? Where they
Uh,
put Escape from L.A. and The Last Jedi's ending side by side.
no, I didn't. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he plagiarized the ending of another movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
God! Oh, go watch that. When we get done with the live stream, type in The Last Jedi Escape from LA, and the guy has literally done a split screen, and you are going to be like, "Oh, you're kidding me." Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. He
what?
plagiarized a
I,
movie that's
I
25 years old.
I forgot. There's one more scene that I absolutely love, and it's probably the best. It's the best scene in the movie. The end credits, because that misery is over. So when it went da da bum ba da ba da ba da da ba ba, and it was in, I was like, yes, thank God, I can get out of
I,
here
I
now.
I still remember the guy sitting in front of me when Luke faded away. He threw his hands up in the air, sitting in the theater. I leaned over my wife and I said, "Did he just die?" I said, "Did he die? Did he just die? Why did he die?"
Rondo
I,
said I was going to say the credits, as we
yeah,
think alike.
that was it. That was it. Oh
Uh,
well, we've ran the gamut of horrible things tonight. Robert Pattinson is potentially Batman
oh
and the
God.
Last Jedi.
I mean, would you rather see Rose Tico or him as Batman?
I'd rather watch Rose Tico because I don't need Batman desecrated like that. He is my favorite superhero. They better not let that dude anywhere around the Bat Cave, the Batmobile, the suit, nothing.
Yeah, that gets me to thinking now. How much screen time do you think that Rose Tico is going to have in this movie? Because remember when George Lucas made the Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks had a huge role, but then the backlash came about the Gungans. George Lucas significantly decreased his role in episode 2 and 3. Do you think she's going to have something similar to that?
Um, I don't know.
Because she was basically like in what,
Like
like
I
40
I I
40% of
no,
Last
I
Jedi.
hear she's going to literally. She's got some kind of like a subplot with Ray. I don't know. Surely they can't have her in that movie more than about 10 minutes, right?
And that's basically what Jar Jar Binks was in episode 2.
Right.
Well, he did give the Chancellor emergency powers.
Hey, can you get to your email?
Yeah.
Go to your email. I think Dog sent you. He sent you that link to that video.
Okay.
He said he popped it in the Hangout.
Okay, I can check it out. I can put it on mute while we're here.
Okay. Lord Kelly.
I don't have it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they'll downplay her this time unless they pursue the relationship with Finn. See, I don't want her to have a relationship with Finn.
Oh, that's probably going to happen. But I would rather see Finn and Ray together because that was already kind of set up in a
Well,
way.
listen,
But
the one
then,
thing I can honestly say is that
Ryan Johnson friend zoned him in the Last Jedi.
well, and you know what sucks about that is the one thing I will say is the new characters in The Force Awakens had very good chemistry with each other.
Yes, they did. They did.
Finn and Ray had awesome chemistry in the first half of that movie.
Yeah, and they're in one scene
And
in the next movie.
yeah. I mean, and then they just, and then Finn and Poe had good chemistry when they were around each other. And it made the movie much more interesting to follow. I'm not sure anybody had any chemistry in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and that's another thing that really bothers me. That mission that Finn and Rose are on, that was the dumbest mission ever. Find a master code breaker. Really? At a casino? That's not Star Wars. That does not feel like Star Wars.
Right, right. Rondo, have a good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Lord Callis, I don't want to see it either, but I think that the only way they give Tico screen time. Well, let me ask you this: if her character is, because I don't know that it's the actress's fault,
No.
right?
No, it's Ryan Johnson writing that dumb storyline for her.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that Chris Terrio will come out with something better. I mean,
remember Chris Terrio also wrote
Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Don't forget that.
The DCU film I hated. Yeah.
I think everybody hated it.
Yeah. Although I will say this, it is a masterpiece compared to The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, I watched Justice League any day over The Last Jedi.
Yeah, the first half is very watchable.
I mean, at least you
it's
do
that
have
cluster F at the end that is just a mess.
At least you do have Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and I do like Superman. I like the individual performances of the characters. I can get through that. The Last Jedi, I can't even get through the individual performances.
This raises an interesting question, particularly because I know the age group of some of the people in the chat right now. Did you grow up watching the Super Friends?
Oh yeah. I remember him. Man, I haven't heard that.
Basically the Justice League before,
Yeah, who was
70s,
on
the 70s and 80s, the cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon series with Superman, Woman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash. They all came around. There was different. Wonder Twins was in it. Yeah, dog. In the first, that thing ran for 15 years,
I don't
18,
remember it that
18
well
years.
because I know I didn't watch very much of it, but I know it.
Okay, you didn't. Okay,
I
see
didn't watch a lot of it, but
that
I
was
know who
my
they are.
that was literally my number one Saturday morning. I got up early because it came on, and then Scooby Doo came on, and then blah, and then Saturday morning TV cartoons were like the thing to do,
They don't even
in the
have Saturday
70s and
morning.
80s.
They don't even have Saturday morning cartoons anymore, do they?
Uh-uh.
Oh man, the kids today, man, they missing out, man. Saturday morning cartoons was so epic from the hours of 8 a.m. to noon. It was amazing.
Is there a reason they literally cannot put the Super Friends versus the Legion of Doom on the freaking big screen? I don't understand. You remember the Legion of Doom?
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, Toyman, Cheetah, the Riddler. I mean, it was the worst of the worst versus the best of the best, and that like 1 or 2 season run they had with the Legion of Doom was just like awesome. And I'm like, why can't they put that on the big screen? I know they teased it in the end credits. They call it the Injustice League now, I think.
Huh. No,
But
speaking of like the 80s, when is Cobra Kai season 2 coming out?
oh, I don't know.
I need to look. I'm gonna look that up. Man, Cobra Kai is amazing. That is how you bring back the past and you honor it. That was a let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, it was great.
Cobra Kai season 2. Let's see. Because the first season came out in May. So not really
That's
see.
so funny. Ron Navy, Wonder Twins powers activate.
Uh
Gleek. Anybody remember Gleek the monkey?
Gleek. I don't remember Gleek.
Yeah, he was the monkey of the Wonder Twins.
Okay, I see an article here where it says Ralph Macchio confirmed that season two's production has wrapped. So they're
Okay.
actually done. That was in December the 10th on this article. And
What's that guy's name that's coming back? John Cleese? Cleese?
John
Cleese?
Kreese, man, he's one of
Crease,
the
yeah.
great movie villains of all time. Not a lot of
Yeah.
screen time, but man, when he was on screen,
You hated him.
he
Oh,
made an impact. You know,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
are not trained to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak. A man confronts you, he is the enemy. An enemy deserves no mercy. What's the problem, Mr. Lawrence?
Uh,
Yeah. Man, I love
oh,
Karate Kid, man. I think I got the whole movie memorized.
that is great. Cruel Summer. Oh, man. What a jam.
Yeah. I can't wait, but you can only watch Cobra Kai on YouTube Red, so you have to have YouTube Red subscription. Uh,
Time for another free trial. Oh, that's how I watched it the last time. Is I took that 7 day
Yeah,
free trial and just binged it
man,
like 12 hours.
I was surprised they had every single episode. So I binge watched it over 2 days.
Yep,
I watched it
that's
again
exactly
too,
what I
man,
did.
because I just loved it, man. I was never expecting it to be that good. So my expectations
Bananarama.
for
Yeah,
season 2 are very, very high.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna
Especially
be
now
it's
just
gonna
bringing
be
Crease
good.
back in. I'm
When
thinking
he
that
showed up at the end, I was like, "What?"
yes.
It
So
was
I'm
a
thinking
stand up moment. I was like, "What?"
so I'm wondering where did Johnny, because remember Johnny said in the TV show that John Kreese is dead. Where did he find out that Kreese was dead? That's a
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
right.
not yeah, so I'm assuming that maybe they'll get Mike Barnes to come back, Terry Silver to come back. That'll be very, very interesting. And then you have Johnny and Daniel working together,
But didn't
because
Johnny didn't seem like he was all that surprised to see him. I didn't think.
uh
I thought he would be like, number one, I thought he was going to tell him to get the hell out, and he didn't, I don't think. I mean, it
yeah.
was just like he just was kind of looking at him, and maybe they'll throw down at the beginning or something, but I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, is that going to end up being Well, let's see. Johnny and Daniel didn't end on a. I don't know.
But Johnny and Daniel, they were kind of getting kind of friendly at the end
Yeah,
until his
yeah,
son came into the mix, and
yeah.
then you realize that Johnny, he's not really a bad guy. That's what I really liked about Cobra Kai season 1. It was like he wasn't really a bad guy, you know. And then you saw the flashback scenes when he was a kid. Like, all right, this guy didn't grow up rich, man. His mom just married into the right family, and that was only a stepdad that was rich. So I really liked it. I mean, but I think they need to bring back Thomas Ian Griffith and as Terry Silver.
Thomas Ian Griffith. I
Yeah,
remember that. Yep.
yeah, he
Yep.
played Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3.
What's up, James Clark?
James Clark, welcome.
Yep. Yeah, Lord Callis is saying something I was thinking about. He read an article where they were talking about Daniel was actually, the bully, the bad guy in the Karate Kid. And
Well,
that's actually been going around a while. There's a video out there that highlights that Daniel LaRusso was actually the bully, the one picking on Johnny Lawrence. And
well,
it's pretty compelling. I mean, you watch it and you're like, yeah, Daniel LaRusso was kind of a dick, wasn't he?
yeah, he was. Look what he did in Cobra Kai. I mean, he got all
Yeah,
those guys rent raised up. I mean,
yeah,
that was pretty shady right there doing that.
yeah. In fact, I watched The Karate Kid about a month ago, and while I was watching it, I was thinking about that. And I was like, wow, I was watching him out there on the beach, and I was like, God, he's kind of a dick. He needed a shit kicked out of him, the little bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Navy. I second that, Ron Navy. We do need Elizabeth Shue to come back.
Yeah, but what would she really do? She's married. She's a doctor. I mean, I can kind of.
She
I don't
don't
really
have
see a
to.
reason for her to come back.
She can just like give me one good episode of Elizabeth
Yeah.
Shue, okay?
You know what though?
In some kind of way.
I was hoping though that when they were going to bring it back and Daniel's a family man, I was hoping that, you know, they can get Tamlin Tomato to come back as Kumiko and we find out that they actually got together and they got married and they had kids. I think that would have been better, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
that didn't really happen.
So okay, that raises an interesting question. Which is the better movie, the first one or the second one?
Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Uh, ooh, man,
Because
that's pretty
let's be
close.
honest, that second one's pretty damn
I
good.
love the second one, man.
And the second one is kind of like a more serious movie, really. I mean, it's
Yeah, they're fighting to the death with no rules.
yeah, yeah.
Man, it's
Yeah, I
tough,
was
man.
thinking about that. Yeah. I was like, not a lot of people bring up the Karate Kid Part 2, but that movie was pretty serious.
Yeah. And I like part 3. The part 3 is not as good as the first two.
No,
And
no, I Part 3 is watchable, but the first two are just in a different, uh, I think in a different like
yeah,
stratosphere.
even though I really did like Mike Barnes as a villain. Mike Barnes is you like this guy's serious. He can probably beat up Johnny. That's how good he is.
The second one made 3 look like shit. They should have had Miyagi and Sato fight, the dog show said.
I mean, which one is just a better story? Is it the first one or the
Gosh,
second one?
man, I got to be honest with you. I think the second one's got a better story.
Yeah, the second one is it's more about Miyagi.
It's a deeper flick. It's a
Yes.
deeper movie. It felt like I don't know.
It's about family and honor together.
Little
The,
more. Yeah, yeah.
the first movie is about honor, but not really about family.
It was. In other words, the first one's like a great '80s flick.
Yeah.
The second one is like, whoa, it's got a little more serious to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm so glad that they brought back Randy Heller as Daniel's mother in Cobra Kai. I knew she was going to show up. I knew it. And when she showed up, bam, she was back to being Lucille again.
yeah, yeah.
She did not miss a beat. And she relatively looks the same except for the gray hair.
Ron Navy raises an excellent point. He is in a fight to the death in part two, but then he gets his ass kicked like he knew nothing in part three.
Yeah. I
I was
can't believe.
thinking that too. I was like, shouldn't he have tore that dude's ass up in part three after what he went through?
Now, this is my problem with the fight in part two. Why in the world is he trying to crane kick? The guy is going to see it coming. It's not going to surprise anybody. So why is he doing that kick?
Right, right.
That makes no sense. And of course, Chosen blocked it pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I,
it
re-
is
I can remember actually seeing that in the theater when it
me
came
too.
out.
I remember part one in the theater.
Yeah,
I
I
was
I
7.
remember one and two, and part two. I remember the entire. I still remember the theater when that guy caught the crane kick. The theater went. Oh. It was like everybody let out oh, he's effed.
Yeah,
Oh, that
Dog
was
Show
funny.
says Johnny blocked it with his face.
Yeah, yeah, right. He
Yeah,
caught it right in the face.
yeah, but he called it an illegal kick.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
um,
That was pretty cool. Right at the beginning, Cobra Kai, they start off right at the end of the movie, and they film like a new scene. When Johnny, it was inconsistent with what actually happened in the movie because you remember Daniel kicks him and Johnny immediately falls to his knees and grabs his nose and like runs out of bounds. But
oh yeah,
in
yeah.
in Cobra Kai, Johnny gets kicked and he just lays there on his stomach. So that's just a little inconsistency right there that I wish they would fix. But I mean, they respected the past. They actually used some of the music, and from what I understand, they were able to use some of the music to a certain extent without using too much.
You know they're saving the song though. For they got to be for the moment, some kind of moment.
Yeah, there's gonna be some more like
They're
some of the classic songs from that movie
right.
gonna come back. You know, I don't know what bit time angle they're gonna take in season two. The John Kreese angle has me really, really interested.
Yeah.
I mean, they set up that last episode when he just shows up. You're like, oh my god, season two is definitely happening. You knew that without them even announcing that season two was going to happen. Because I think to them, Cobra Kai was a huge surprise, even to them.
And you knew right there, you was like, okay, as soon as he showed up, everybody was back on board to come see season two.
Yep, yep,
Everybody, we was like,
yep. I mean, that show was so good. Me and
yeah.
my wife was sitting down watching it, and we watched like 3 episodes in a row, and then we took like a break. Then we watched some more again. We watched the whole thing, and then we would watch it again because it was just so good. I was like, man, where does this TV show? What does this TV show kind of rank for you? Because I know it was a huge surprise because nobody thought it was going to be good, but I don't think we've seen something like this where a TV show based on a movie, the TV show is so good. I don't think we've seen something like that.
No, no, I can't think of anything where they carried the movie over to the TV show like that.
Yes,
And
especially with the
and
original
it turned
characters.
out that way.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
don't
what?
know. I would still like to see some. I would still like to see some kind of a post Return of the Jedi, like if they did a series about Luke as like a Jedi Knight, and they used Mark Hamill and de-aged him for it and did 10 episodes. Man, I'd watch that. I
You
would
know what?
watch that.
Actually, this here, I wouldn't even mind this if they came out with a Luke Skywalker TV show for the streaming service post Return of Jedi, even without Mark Hamill. If it was done correct, I would love to watch that because you can actually see what he should have been in the sequel trilogy.
If they get the Winter Soldier to play him, I'd be on board.
Yeah,
Because he looks just almost just like Mark Hamill from
yeah,
like, especially in shots of him from Empire. It's real close.
yeah. My first choice would be a DH Mark Hamill to play that
Yeah,
role.
I agree.
But I don't think they're going to do it though. They want to be so done with the Skywalkers. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but don't you think? I mean, if some things are changing, they're gonna have to sort of, uh, man, their big fear better be they better hope Star Wars doesn't die with the Skywalkers. Is what they better be concerned about right now.
Well, here's the problem.
You know,
They've disrespected the Skywalkers so much that they're just going to introduce all these other characters and nobody's going to really care. Like they just threw Ray and Finn on us and nobody cares about them.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but anyway,
I'm
guys,
thinking about I'm thinking about their properties going. I mean, because aren't we pretty much like? I mean, I know we're talking about episode 9, but like for me, the Mandalorian is. I'm way more looking forward to that than I am episode 9 right now.
yes, I'm mainly
Because
interested
because
because I'm a huge Favreau fan and Dave
yeah, me
Filoni is
too.
involved. And
Yeah,
Dave Filoni, I believe, has a much bigger role in this TV show than we know. We
yeah,
know he's
I
directing
agree.
one
I
episode,
agree.
but I
Yeah.
think him and Favreau, I think Favreau leaned on Filoni a lot. And I think George Lucas is involved in this show a lot more too.
Well, they just come out. I did a video yesterday where they literally interviewed the Thor Ragnarok director, and he was like, "This show is going to be just what you would expect post Return of the Jedi."
Yeah. But still,
You
though,
know,
what bothers me still, why aren't we getting any Jedi Sith stuff coming out as far
it's
as we know?
it's gotta be the Benioff and wife
It
stuff.
better be
It's
the Game
gotta
of
be.
Thrones guys. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's gotta
if the
be.
Game of Thrones guys do not actually have Jedi Sith in it, that will destroy Star Wars.
Well,
Because
I have heard an interesting rumor about um I think it was a month ago I saw a rumor where their trilogy may actually be episode 10 through 12,
yeah,
but it's gonna be like nothing to do with Ray
thank
and
God.
Kylo or any of that
So
stuff.
maybe like 500 years in the future or something.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna actually see Ray and Finn and Poe ever again. Not in the movie.
Ron Navy, you're going to see there is going to be some kind of Sith Jedi stuff in the Mandalorian. I
Uh,
guarantee you.
I doubt that.
I can almost guarantee you. I think he throws down with somebody force sensitive.
So
I do.
if that's the case, then Luke has to be in the movie.
At some point, he is
I mean,
going to
TV
throw
show.
down with somebody force sensitive.
It would have to
Got
be.
to.
It would have to be Luke then. I mean, Luke would have to be in this movie, right? Because this is only 3 years after Jedi, and Luke is the only one left. So
Far
he
far as we know, I mean, they could
may.
always
I
introduce the
mean,
force sensitive of some
maybe
kind.
immediately he's out looking for force sensitive kids to train. Maybe
Right. Because
so.
Mandalorians, remember, they had what was it, dark saber training?
Yeah, they had the dark saber. Oh,
Right.
I really want to see the dark saber. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna
I mean,
get.
that's gonna be
I'm almost
nuts.
willing to bet we're gonna see Sabine in this movie.
If they do it, it will be either at the end of the first episode or it will be at the end of the last episode. And my guess would be the end of the last one. And in other words, to whet the appetite for a potential second season. That's where we're going to get, man, whatever. The craziest thing we're going to see that is Star Wars, getting Star Wars, that is Star Wars involved this year will be the last 5 minutes of the Mandalorian season finale. That's going to be the best thing we see all year.
Huh.
Think about that. Think about how good TV shows are now, and then think about that.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's going to be the best. Something, they're going to drop a bomb in the last 5 minutes of that. I don't know what it is yet, but they're going to drop one.
You think
Either
so?
either we're going to get a cameo from somebody we never expected, like all of a sudden we see Ahsoka or Sabine or Boba Fett shows up. Something nuts. It's going to be nuts.
Hmm.
Have a good one, dog. Take care.
Okay, we're about to wrap this up here in a few minutes because I'm going to
Goodness.
be premiering my new video here in 15 minutes. It's going to be a premiere live stream in 15 minutes on here.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm good
we-
too. It's 7. I hadn't even thought about dinner
man,
yet.
it
So
went by fast, man. So I
super,
just
super fast.
yeah, so
Super fast.
I just scheduled this video to premiere in 15 minutes. So make sure you guys just kind of stick around in the next 15 minutes. Well, not here. I mean, it's actually going to go out.
at the video when it pops up.
Yeah, when the video pops up in 15 minutes. Make sure you guys are there to support the channel. We have 18 people watching, so I expect 18 people to be watching the video live. But I think you guys are going to like this video. So, anyway, what are your final thoughts, Rhodes?
Man, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We had another good one, I think.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, it's not all Star Wars. I like the non Star Wars stuff. It's so much fun, just talking about pretty much everything. That's the beauty of live streams, you know, it's
John, I
everything.
don't know how you feel about it, but we should consider a guest next Friday night, maybe.
Yes.
We can talk about that offline, but
Yeah, we can do that.
uh I can think of a couple of 3 folks I wouldn't mind sneaking in here.
Cool. Cool.
So all right.
All right, folks. So remember, my video pop drops in it's 7:01 right now. It drops to 7:15. So make sure you guys are there to watch the video. It is some breaking Star Wars news. So make sure you check it out. Rhodes already knows what it is. So we'll
It's gonna be
see.
good. It's gonna
Yeah,
be good.
it's gonna be good.
It's
Believe
gonna
me.
be good.
So anyway, you folks have a wonderful evening. Be safe, and we will catch you on the next video. Peace.
We're out. Till next time.